Live at 6, this is 13 News Now.
Watch him react when we say kiss Leac. Come on, you gotta boo that guy.
Protesters greeting Attorney General Jeff Sessions in downtown Norfolk today. About a dozen people chanted for a couple of hours before and after Sessions spoke at the Slover Library, holding signs with the words "Perjure much" and "Welcome refugees and immigrants."
Sessions was in town to talk to law enforcement officers about immigration and national security, but those aren't the only hot-button topics in the headlines today. 13 News Now investigative reporter Laura Geller has the details from Slover Library.
We had wanted to ask Attorney General Jeff Sessions about reports the president ordered the firing of special counsel Robert Mueller, but Sessions stuck to the script, walking in and out of this door without taking any questions from reporters.
It is my distinct pleasure to welcome our speaker today, Attorney General Sessions.
A captive audience for the Attorney General at Slover Library today, telling law enforcement officers from around Hampton Roads and their federal partners, immigration is a national security issue.
If we can't control or even know who enters the country, it's that much harder to keep people safe.
Sessions explained a proposal which would add 10,000 new ICE officers, 1,000 new ICE attorneys, 300 new immigration prosecutors, and 400 new immigration judges.
There's nothing wrong, nothing immoral to develop a policy of immigration that we believe strengthens America.
According to the head of the Department of Justice, the president is determined to build a wall along the southern border and enact a merit-based system of entry into this country. But he conceded no permanent fix is possible without Congress, a fight which came to a head this week with the government shutdown.
This is an issue of crime committed by aliens, and it doesn't just affect the victims of those crimes. It affects all of us.
We don't know just yet how many of the specifics Sessions mentioned today will actually end up in the law. In Norfolk, Laura Geller, 13 News Now.
New disturbing information surrounding a double murder in Virginia Beach. The two accused men suspected in a crime spree that spanned several cities in Hampton Roads. Well, today they faced a judge on the worst of the charges. Our Stephen Graves explains what we've learned.
Yeah, David, one of the suspects was apparently friends with the men he allegedly killed. All police had to do was speak with the suspects, and that was enough to charge them with murder.
Now handcuffed and in a jail jumpsuit, James Gregory walks before a grieving family, then faces a judge. The same for his alleged accomplice Leonard Morrison, in a wheelchair, now paralyzed from injuries. Today, detectives say the two admitted to being involved in a deadly double shooting in Virginia Beach. June 10th, police say 28-year-old John Raithjen and 23-year-old Rayvon Miles were found dead in this home off Lynn Haven Parkway. Detectives say the suspects drove here in hopes of a drug deal over Xanax. It turned into both victims being shot in the head, their bodies found on couches. Gregory is the suspected shooter. Police testified that he held Miles at gunpoint while Morrison allegedly robbed the place of electronics. Prosecutors say they pawned the stolen items the next day. Then days later, the two were arrested and suspected of GameStop robberies in Chesapeake and Hampton. Morrison even ended up in a shootout with police before being arrested. The officer survived, and Morrison was shot multiple times. Today, a judge certified first-degree murder charges, among others. This hearing just the first of many to come.
And in Virginia Beach Court, we also learned that the two actually met up with friends and went to Busch Gardens to hang out after the murders. Gregory was also allegedly $1,500 in the hole of rent money when the murders happened. They're both expected in court in the coming months. Stephen Graves, 13 News Now.
New information surrounding the shooting of a pizza delivery driver. Newport News police tell us he has improved from critical to stable condition. The driver was shot in broad daylight at the College Grove Apartments near Warwick Boulevard yesterday morning. Police are still looking for the gunman, who has a tattoo on the right side of his face. If you know who did this, call the crime line anonymously. More than 3 months after a sexual assault, Newport News police say they've caught the suspect. Police have charged 23-year-old Ezekiel Brown with rape, abduction, and robbery. They are not releasing his picture because of other investigations. Investigators say in October, Brown approached a woman at Waterman's Crossing Apartments, pulled out a gun, forced her into a home, and raped her.
Crooks targeting cars at a local YMCA. While you're inside working up a sweat, the thieves are outside working to get into your car and steal your valuables. 13 News Now reporter Megan Shin has the crime alert from Yorktown.
You'll see car after car driving in here to the Victory YMCA. Some of those New Year's resolutions, right, to get to the gym a little bit more often, but those cars are being left unattended for 45 minutes to an hour at a time.
The Victory YMCA has a packed parking lot. Many people rush to the gym, park their car, and hopefully remember to lock it. But on Tuesday afternoon, York-Poquoson Sheriff's Office says locked doors didn't stop someone from breaking into at least 4 cars.
It's just a little bit shocking because of the fact that it was at the YMCA, and this is kind of a place where families go and kids go.
Morgan Fairbanks says she's a YMCA member, just like Maximino Leon.
It's really unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, and it really shouldn't happen.
Deputies don't know who or how many people broke into the cars and how much stuff was taken. But Leon says he hopes everyone will keep up the supportive culture in the gym.
It's like an esprit de corps, you know, we all get together to exercise, to stay healthy.
By looking out for each other's cars outside in the parking lot.
It could be our friend's vehicle, you know, that's being broken into. Maybe we can spot somebody that doesn't belong there.
13 News Now reached out to the corporate YMCA office for their comment. We have yet to hear back. In Yorktown, Megan Shin, 13 News Now.
A new federal report confirms what a 13 News Now investigation uncovered in November when inmates attempted to break out of a North Carolina prison. The facility was understaffed. We told you Pasquotank Correctional Institution was short almost 100 correctional officers and that shortages were not a new issue for DOC. Now the National Institute of Correction says because of the shortages, Pasquotank workers fell short on conducting required strip searches, keeping track of tools and hazardous chemicals, and finding hiding places outside the view of prison security cameras. You can check out all of our coverage on the North Carolina attempted prison break, which left 4 employees dead. It's on 13newsnow.com.